It is the year 2005. The treacherous Decepticons have conquered the Autobots' home planet of Cybertron. Cybertrons! Of Cybertron. Cybertrons! Of Cybertron. Of Cybertrons! 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 Cybertrons! Of Cybertron. Cybertrons! Of Cybertron.
We now return you to the Children of Primus.
Got 2 more photos to go. Hello, everybody.
Good evening,
Bring everyone.
Yeah, I have exactly 2 more pictures to take, and then I will be less blown out on this side of my face.
Welcome.
I'm looking forward to the next one.
Another Children of Primus Freestyle Sundays. And we were discussing beforehand different things that generations, of what we experienced in our generation, our children's generation, and our parents' generation, and in terms of technology.
If you're in your mid-30s, you probably remember life before the internet, but be any younger than that and it starts to become dicey.
But although with the newer generation, telling them that we didn't have internet, they look at us as prehistoric dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'm exactly old enough to appreciate that despite everything else, if I randomly remember a bit of a movie or an old commercial or something, I can probably find it pretty quickly.
Nice.
That's the specific way it benefits me.
Well, welcome everyone. How's everyone doing?
Tired, long week.
No lies detected.
Yeah. If you're ever in Toronto, shout out to Stormcrow Manor. It's this Dungeons and Dragons and general geek culture themed like restaurant and bar downtown. I was there for a friend's birthday yesterday. Loads of stimulus because of all the noise and all the stuff on the walls and all the TV. But it's also a great place if you want someplace themed around your interests to hang out with your friends with. So that's where I was yesterday.
Oh, that's cool.
The old people horde of Florida would never let something like that fly.
Yeah, the Stormcrow Man. Oh yeah, I when I walked in to the left, they were projecting a little D&D type pentagram on the floor, and I was like, yeah, this wouldn't fly in Florida. It wasn't a terribly demonic place, but like I was like, wow, even just that right there at the entrance.
Yeah, not just Florida, the Bible Belt in general. Don't miss that.
Although I'm sure there's probably something like that in Orlando. I just don't spend enough time in Orlando to find anything like that.
What is in Orlando aside from Disney?
Disney, Universal. There's a whole other theme park there, and then it's a tourist trap, so there's all sorts of nifty stuff over there. Water parks, go-kart tracks. One of the Bigfoots is actually permanently over there.
Oh, nice.
He sits outside Fun Spot, I think the place is called.
Is that where you can go for the ride in a monster truck?
No, he just sits there. He's just a prop.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to ride in a monster truck. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure. As a matter of fact, next time I go to Bigfoot headquarters, I'm going to offer them a substantial amount of money to drive Bigfoot 5.
I thought you were going to try to buy it off them, and I'm like, how substantial are we talking?
I saw your head pop up.
I'm going to start at $1,000. I'm going to say, hey, $1,000 to let me take it to the because they've got the shop, and it kind of sits behind a grocery store with like a field in the middle, and they display it up at the grocery store because that's where they sell the merch.
Okay.
And they have to drive it back and forth every day to put it inside on their property, and they don't let it just sit out because Bigfoot 5 is, I think he just now lost the world title for the world's largest monster truck.
Oh,
I think he just now lost it clear, and he's been around since '86. But that's the one I want to drive. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody just passed him. I think a YouTuber called Whistling Diesel. He's just not a good human being, but he
tell us what you really think.
How close can we come to being demonetized? he's not a popular YouTuber amongst the rest of the car community, but he just built one that surpassed.
Oh, okay. No, does he actually race in like the events and everything, or
nope? It's just a toy.
Okay.
It's just a toy.
There's no honor in that.
Yes.
Well, they don't race monster trucks that much anymore.
Really?
It's mostly the freestyle stuff.
I was gonna ask because I remember when monster trucks kind of had that huge push back in the day, and you'd always hear like Sunday live at the Coliseum, but
that's still here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's still in the Midwest. Yeah, we still have monster truck rallies.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, they're still around. I think they come to Tampa twice a year, and they come like pretty close. Like they'll come in like December, and then they'll be back in like February. I don't know.
Well, I guess during the time when everyone's coming down for vacations.
You got a point. Yeah.
Nature abhors a monster truck vacuum.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got us off on monster trucks again. Yeah, Transformers.
Yeah,
sorry.
I can relate it back to Transformers and RID 2015. The Grimlock Net Show goes to a monster truck rally, and because the monster trucks are designed to look like dinosaurs and monsters and whatnot, he puts on a little bit of a crane, like the tank Freds and the crane on his back, and he's like, "See, I'm a monster truck now," and he participate. You may just buy it.
That is so cool.
That is cool.
And the smaller robot fixed it is like riding it the whole time, or not the human, the little robot, the human dad character in that show. He wins it.
That's hilarious.
That's great.
It's funny. I'm thinking out of the whole line, at least for G1, the only monster truck that existed was, I believe. I don't remember if the character name was Grease Pit or the gas station was called Grease Pit.
Grease Pit was the character.
The gas station.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the mini con that came with the base or whatever.
Yeah, it is weird that was the only monster truck they ever did. You think that'd be a slam dunk?
Yeah.
Oh, they did have one in Cybertron / Galaxy Force.
Yeah. Not in the 80s.
Had one.
Well, the logistics of it would be where the heck would the tires transform to?
Actually, when I was a kid, I remember it must have been 1989 when Micromasters were out. There was a Monster Truck Patrol Micromaster set, which were some of my favorite little Micromasters to play with. Let's see if I can find it.
TF Wixie. There's
So while
You
you're
know,
I'm
over the
limited to
years,
one
it's been-
screen, so I'm not searching anything. So
over the years, there's been a lot of collaborations in between like movies and cartoons and just pop culture in general with monster trucks. You know, yeah, like that. They come out with, like a whole theme monster truck with like the title of a movie. You know, I'm really surprised that Transformers has never done anything, or Hasbro in general has never done anything.
That
I was
sounded like the intro to a
Monster
YouTube
Trucks.
video. For many years, there's been collaborations between monster trucks, and there you go. There's a subject that you just said your intro.
Sunday.
Toy line.
Yeah, and they were only ever in Dreamwave because of course they were.
Oh, okay.
Big hauler, heavy tread, hydraulic, and slowpoke.
On Cybertron, there was from Galaxy Force / Cybertron. It's Dirt Boss, and I'm pulling him up the picture now. The link in the general share here in a sec.
I'd say it's funny how you know, like that monster truck the monster truck ads just resonated with all of us as children, because even on this monster truck patrol wiki, right under the picture, it says downtown at the Memorial Coliseum Arenas Raceway Amphitheater Stadium.
That's the way the wiki writes its articles. They always make jokes about everything.
Oh, I love it.
I love their jokes.
Okay, link sent.
And the fact that the whole thing starts off with Sunday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a good one. I love his colors. What was the name of the character again? I know he's from Cybertron. Dirt Boss, I think.
I think that's what Settom said. Yeah.
Yeah, it is Dirt Boss.
Yeah, I like how the colors are just like pure '90s toy.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely 90s. Love it.
Yeah.
Definitely looks weird though, because it doesn't have like a traditional chassis underneath of it.
Yeah.
At all. It's like a tank.
This is the point where they were like utilizing the fact that like these were all quote unquote Cybertronian vehicle modes to just cheat the engineering and stuff.
Got it.
And can't think of the name of the. What was those very early in the 2000 combiners that the limbs weren't even true robots? They were just like the vehicles or the animals or whatever.
Yeah, power core combiners.
Yeah, there was a monster truck in that line too.
Yeah, it got redone as like a Constructicon or something. I might be wrong about
Power
that.
core combiners.
I guess that the chassis and all that design is what makes making a transformer kind of difficult.
Yeah, that's why I said the logistics of it would be really tough because, I mean, the chassis and everything could swap around, but God, where do you put those massive tires?
Yeah.
As we jump into the comments temporarily before we jump into the main topic, Freakenstein on YouTube says, at James Coleman, I'm alive. I don't go live anymore, sorry, but keep the channel up, guys. And
Good to hear from you.
James Coleman says, glad you're doing well, though.
Mm-hmm. Like I've been on this show long enough that I'm used to people jumping in and out, but I was like, where's Freakenstein at? So it's good to hear from you.
Mm-hmm. So our main topic of this evening, which was suggested by Toy Warp, essentially is, did COVID affect the prices of toys before or after COVID, or even during?
I have a grand unifying theory that has to do with some commentary on the big Giga leak that just happened over the last few days of all the upcoming product.
Okay, so you've got those. I don't have to leak those.
Yeah.
Okay.
The context there is they all come from a guy named JT Prime. Most of the leaks that we get that are accurate are from him. So he's known, like he's either an insider or he knows somebody who's an insider. And he basically said, here's the rest of the 2024 product, and here's some of the stuff that's coming in 2025. So it's a very large leak, and you're supposed to take these with a grain of salt, but historically it's all true, right? And something that was pointed out by people more astute than me is that a lot of what's coming, especially in Legacy, is re-releases and repackagings as opposed to new toolings. And it's something that you don't notice at first because they're like, oh, Cosmos, the Legacy Cosmos that nobody could get, is going to just get a mass release. And I'm going somewhere with this, by the way, relating to the topic, I swear. Like Tarn, which nobody could find, is getting a re-release. Galaxy Shuttle, which people who aren't Canadian couldn't find, is getting a re-release. So yeah, the general thing about it was once you get past that, you realize there's very little new things coming out in that wave. And the theory is that this is knock-on effects from the post-COVID shrinkage of the market. Because from where I sit on it, I think there was a bit of a boom during the pandemic because a lot of people were at home buying things, and now that things have settled down, we're seeing like a shrinkage of it. So I think it's less that we've seen a price increase because of the pandemic, and more that we're seeing like a price increase and like a new product shrinkage post-pandemic. Now that we're coming down from that high of being stuck indoors with nothing to do. I thought of all of this. I thought of all of this during the intro. By the way, I didn't bring this to the table like previously.
Of course,
That's cool.
Yeah.
This topic was actually brought up. I don't know if you saw it on Liberated Spin or not. It was a couple months ago. Somebody basically said the same thing. Pre-COVID, post-COVID, during COVID, and one. I'm not exactly sure which one of the admins it was. It wasn't Chris. It may have been Brown. I can't think of what his first name is. But I think it was him. Anyway, he said that during COVID, people were ordering everything they could. They're sitting at home. They got nothing to do. They're like, oh, man, I really like these things. I wonder if there's a market for it. And there was a little bit of a market. And then people found out, oh my God, the stuff that I have is actually worth a lot. And as they started selling, they realized that they could ask for more, and more and more. And he said that during that COVID, just get rid of stuff so you can get stuff that you never got before. It drove the prices up because now you've created the supply and the demand.
Right.
People that had things were getting rid of them because, a lot of people were out of work. A lot of people needed the money. Some people were making hand over fist money because of the government paybacks.
Right.
And so they had all this extra money. And so the vacuum as well as the draw was there for it. People were putting stuff up for sale. People were buying it for that price. There's no haggling. Oh, I want that. I've got the money.
Yeah.
I don't have to haggle. Now that everything has come back to a kilter, prices are still up here, but people want them to come back down here.
Right.
Yeah, and hence we're seeing that sort of knock-on effect of upcoming releases focusing a bit more on making previously hard-to-find stuff available as opposed to like brand new toolings.
Right.
Yeah, I that's true for me because before the pandemic, one sort of little kind of point of pride I had was I basically never bought any Transformers online. I went out of my way not to. Okay. It was only what I could find in the stores, and then if I wanted something fancy and international, I'd wait till convention season. And then during the pandemic, I was like, well, I can't go anywhere. Guess I'm going to start buying my robots online. and that never really left.
Well, see, I built this during the pandemic.
There you go.
I got all of my stuff out of storage and got everything put up in here, and I was like, oh, there's a gap.
Mm-hmm.
There's something missing here, and so I went and I found what I needed to. That's what I found these websites: Transformers Liberated, Transformers G1, Collectors Anonymous, and got into all of those. And people on there are like, oh, well, you're looking for this one specific thing. And at the beginning of it, I was like, well, I got multiples of these ones everybody else is looking for. So everything on this middle shelf that's not out of the box, those are all extras. That's basically my trade fodder.
Oh. You've reinvented the barter economy.
Yeah.
That's right. And if it was something that I had 4 or 5 of, I didn't mind taking a hit. If it was a piece that I needed, if I had to lose $25-$30 on a piece, it didn't bother me, because then I could go, how about you pay for shipping both ways? And I was out of nothing.
Wow, smart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I had 2 or 3 different transactions that went that way. Whenever I got my Unicron, I just happened to be lucky enough to be on Liberated when Alex Taylor posted, hey, I ordered 2, I'm selling 1 at the price to where I got mine for free. And then he put it up for $1,150. Nice. And I said, sold. I said, you're close enough that I can drive to you. You're less than 2 hours away from me.
Nice.
And then we started talking. And while we're talking, you know, he's got a collection, I've got a collection. And the pieces that I had here were pieces that weren't available in his area. And so I actually traded some pieces that I got off of the bargain lots and got another $400 knocked off. And so basically I got my HasLab Unicron at cost.
Nice.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
So I always love it when like people don't realize, you know, that I only collect G1, but they see something that says Transformers on it, they'll buy it for me, you know, and give it to me. And it's just trade, like you said, it's trade fodder. It works out great that way.
Michael Rolati, who's probably
Dollar Store Transformers, baby.
Convention Center says Dollar Store Transformers. Also says Bill is thinking 3 steps ahead. And says, and that's why I keep my Transformers in their boxes.
Well, man, you gotta buy 2 and 3. That way you can open one, keep one in a box, and have one for trade. And you still have one in the box and one that's open.
Yeah, he's just saying keep it in the box so it doesn't end up in your collection, because it just kind of drags, you know, it's gravity that drags Transformers to your house.
Those Unicrons that he has in the background, they're just sucking all everyone else's.
Yeah. And next month there's going to be 2 of them in here. I'll go ahead and make the announcement that I put on the page. In June, I will be doing a panel at OMG Con on extreme collecting. And Alex Taylor, the guy that I got my HasLab from, is going to allow me to use his as well. So we're going to have a transformed HasLab and we're going to have a planet mode HasLab. So they're both going to be on the table for people to see the size of it. So yeah, there's going to be 2 HasLab Unicrons in this room for a little bit.
Wow.
That's
imagine the gravity.
Yeah, so that's a warning for anyone else, you know, come middle of June, like if you start seeing like your Transformers sliding on the shelf or like a few go missing.
The gravity flux is going to start getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're doing that live panel, or you're recording that for the panel?
No, I'm doing it live at the convention.
I see. Cool.
They've allotted me 90 minutes. I'm going to do 45 minutes to an hour discussion, and then we're going to allot 45 minutes to 30 minutes for a Q&A at the end of it.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Have to get this man a Children of Primus shirt.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about a banner. I need pictures of your banners because I can get banners made. But I do want a Children of Primus on here. Spin, can you bring up the picture that's going to be in the brochure on the webpage for it whenever they...
Yes. So let's see. Actually, so while I'm searching for that, James Coleman says, getting info for Transformers in 2025 is like a 40th anniversary gift from Alpha Trion.
Yeah. Oh, hey, if Orlotti's listening, because he's big on the original 13, it looks like that's going to be the theme in 2025.
Yeah.
We don't know what the line is called because we're only going by SKUs, but the name Prime is in the title. And some of the listings are for some of the original 13. Like, let me just pop it up real quick.
There we go.
Where is it? Just calling it up. Yeah, there's like Solus Prime, Alchemist Prime, Micronus, Heatwave, Alpha Trion is a Voyager, probably a new one and not the Scourge retool. Onyx Prime is going to be a leader. There's going to be a new leader class of the Fallen. The one interesting listing is for a leader G2 Grimlock, so maybe I'm finally getting my blue version of the Studio Series leader, if that's what that is. We only got codes to go on, so we're just guessing.
Yes, and Mr. Alati says, yes, it's about time.
Yeah, so
crazy.
look forward to that next year. I mean, it's going to be a while because we still have all of the 2024 stuff to come out, but, it's coming. It's going to happen. Unless, as he said, plans change, because he's like, plans could change when he leaked all the codes and stuff.
You know what's funny? I'm really excited about these primes coming out, 13 primes, but I remember a panel at the 2010 BotCon in Florida, and Aaron Archer was there talking about, big things are happening, 13 primes are happening. He leaked that, and I'm like on the edge of my seat waiting for it to come out. Hasn't happened since then, so
yeah.
Wow.
Presumably it was a part of like whatever pivot it was that led to like him departing, which, as we discussed when we were live streaming Predacons Rising, like happened during the run of Transformers Prime. So it was presumably kiboshed around that point, I guess, or just extremely delayed until right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was more of a concept, I think. Well, it didn't leave the concept stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing, if we believe the 2025 listing, a couple of aerial bots are listed there. So presumably Superion is the next big combiner, like Menasor was.
Okay.
Because why would they do the aerial bots if they're not going to do Superion? But this is way out. We're talking like next year, so you don't need to start allotting space for another combiner
just started
yet.
2024, and we're talking about 2025.
Right.
Yeah, because of this big leak.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the picture that they're going to use in the brochure and on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Who gave him the picture?
I did.
Oh, okay.
It's the one from
Yeah.
the Christmas thing.
Christmas thing?
And I think Toy Warp is trying to make a hint about something.
Oh no! I just remembered making the video that's out of, and I felt really bad because I didn't get him saying anything to make the video. To get the clips, I literally had to download the entire stream, and I ended up downloading like 3 or 4 entire streams trying to get him saying something neat, or saying something where he didn't have something up in front of his face or something, and it wasn't there. So that was like the best I could do. I just, every time I look at that, I feel bad. It's like he didn't get to say anything in the video.
But
Somebody loved it.
But you know what? That's the essence of Mr. Magnus, because he always has a reveal that he's showing. So I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. That's the essence there.
Speaking of which, I have reveals tonight.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of which, yes. Oh, and also Mr. Laddie said, did you guys see the Primus with Alpha Trion head figure?
Oh yeah, the third-party one. Yeah. It's a third-party Primus. The Studio Cell one to go against Unicron. They get his headmaster is Alpha Trion, which is kind of a clever twist.
Interesting.
I'm getting my signed Bumblebee back from Cask Grading finally this week. It's taken 3.5 months.
Wow.
They only graded it at a 50.
What?
Man.
Yeah.
What was their reasoning?
I don't know. I'm assuming I'm getting some paperwork explaining their reasoning. It doesn't say anything on the website. And if I don't get any paperwork, then yeah, I'm definitely getting a hold of them and say, hey, well, what's up with this? But yeah, I guess I'd only grade it at a 50.
Why though? Yeah, that's all I want to know.
Well, I will defer to you guys, because the CBR website, in terms of articles, always their articles always intrigue me in terms of quote unquote content. And when I was putting together this week's idea, I came across an image that led me back to their website, and I found an article where they were listing like the most rare Transformers, or in terms of prices, and again, something just struck a chord with me in terms of the article, but I'll bring that up later on. But I'll ask the question of you guys who are more collectors to kind of have a better ballpark in terms of where they were going with the article. Yeah, I'll bring that up a bit later before we end the evening.
Cool.
I'm interested to see what those reveals are. That's why I'm just sitting here waiting. I got my own thing, but I'm like, I want to see yours.
yeah, Anthony, you might want to wipe the drool there for.
Okay, so here's the first one.
Ooh, nice. Windblade. That's the good Windblade.
Yep.
And she will be open tonight.
Nice.
I also got the upgrade kit for the Volcanus.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Wow. Big set.
Oh, for the little Volcanus.
No, this is the big one.
Oh.
No, this is for the Generations one.
That makes it a big one. Look at the size of that box.
Yeah. And then, of course, you all know that I love my ladies. I already have these two.
Oh, nice.
And this one
Oh, sweet.
arrived. So now I have all three of the CDLs.
Very nice.
And she will be added to the slave pit. All the CDLs are worshiping Emperor Starscream in my box in the case over here.
Oh, that's what we're calling it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. The slave pit. All my female Autobots, even the little ones over there, are all worshiping Starscream. Just because Starscream is my daughter's favorite. And she's the one that told me, she's like, you should make all these girls worshiping him like slave girls. And I went.
You know what? If it came from her, that makes it way less questionable. So kudos.
Well, anything came from
My daughter's dark, guys. My daughter's dark. She's very goth.
Wow.
Right on.
Comedy's the best. And Michael Orlati says, to SETTOM BOCK Arts. Pew, pew, to SETTOM BOCK Arts.
Yeah, seen him shooting a missile out of what looked like a Megatron.
James was telling me.
Cons.
Oh. Yeah, what do you got there? Minicons?
Yeah, various ones. Oh, God.
Last night, Aaron Archer was showing off some original concept artwork for some of his mini-cons, as well as the 13 primes, which is pretty
nice.
Cool. Yeah. It's a good show last
So my thing that I got, which is near and dear to me, is the Beast Wars reissues. The latest series of them finally showed up in Canada, so I got me a reissue Cyber Shark. And by the way, I love the packaging they put these in because it is just the 90s cards, just straight up.
Wow, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, so this is new. I just got this. You got this on the shelf, and me and Jess are going to co-own this one because hammerhead sharks are among her favorite animals ever. So that was one of the reasons why I got this one. But I'm going to pop it open. And one other thing I like about this line of Beast Wars reissues is they're like prioritizing ones that weren't on the show because. If they were on the show, the Kingdom guys are probably like your best bet, but like they're not going to do like a new Cyber Shark in like Legacy or whatever. So putting the non-TV show guys back on the market is a little more up my alley because it's something I actually want to purchase instead of like a Cheetor that is not as good as the new one, for example.
So this is the pose that she will be in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got his two Cyber Shark's two mode mates, Sharp Edge, which is the Sawfitch, and then Hellscream. But I got to share the missiles from Cyber Shark in between all of them. But considering I I got them for like 20 or 30 bucks rather than 100 or something a piece for the 2 Japanese only ones. I was like, yeah, I'll go without having to share the missiles.
Yeah. Oh, another special thing about this one is I have a junker version of it I got for cheap at a convention at one point, but the joints are all loose and it's missing some parts. So getting the chance to get like a factory fresh one was also particularly nice. And one other cool thing, instructions are on the back. This was the time period where they still did that. No folded up paper, it's just right there.
Orlati, that's never any fun.
Guess what I got? I got to go back to work. You got to pay for the robots somehow.
Take care, sir.
What's up, mate? We'll have a drink soon.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the few submarine transformers.
Yeah.
True.
It's like a battleship
even the GoBots had a submarine.
Wow, that's
I wonder how
nice.
the old school Beast Wars collectors feel about re-releasing these identical packaging. Like, does that affect the resale value at all?
I wouldn't think so, because honestly, like, beyond the immediate look, this packaging is actually quite different from the old one. It's a lot more trilingual. It's a lot more, like, the tech specs have been edited to make room for that. The copyright information on the back is deliberately different. Somebody might be fooled, but I don't think most people that are picking these up are going to be fooled. To me, it occupies the same space as other reissues, which is like a chance to get like a fresh copy of something without having to pay aftermarket.
SETTOM, I find that really weird because he transforms exactly like Dive.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah, I mean, he looks a little bit different, in robot mode, but he transforms exactly like Dive. And considering Hasbro bought Tonka, who had GoBots, I wouldn't be surprised if they took a lot of that design to make that.
Yeah, his team's a little interesting. You have a submarine, 2 missile airplanes.
Oh, you got Dive right there.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I can see it while you made that comment.
Yeah.
It looks like maybe the front of him makes his upper arms, whereas on this guy, it's the front of the submarine makes his feet instead.
That's weird, Magnus. You got a blue one. I've got a black one.
Yeah.
That's weird. Never knew there was
this pile of figures here were all in the photo shoot that I just finished for Retro Blaster. That's why I got a big pile of stuff on my table. Ooh, lovely. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like that yellow race car that was from GoBots, and I think I had the yellow one, but I think the official GoBots one was black and yellow.
Slicks.
Yes, Slicks. And it's interesting, his transformation is different than when Dragstrip came out like years later.
2 different race cars, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Slicks was a late 70s 4-wheeled formula car.
Okay.
But Dragstrip is oh god, what was that? I know Mario Andretti drove it, and it had the whole idea was to get it to handle better with 4 tires in front instead of just 2.
Okay.
That's why he's got an odd number of tires on him, because that was an actual thing they tried in like the mid to late 70s in Formula One.
You should do a yellow dive with the Beatles crossover.
That would be funny.
It's the most obvious collaborative.
Yeah. Well, of course, they would make it a headmaster, which at that point, do you put like Paul, Ringo, or like one of the other guys as the headmaster?
4 different swappable heads.
Yeah. Or John and Paul fighting over it.
So going back to our main topic, on one of the Transformers Facebook groups, the Transformers Toy Philippines, someone left a comment saying that I think the toy companies saw the price of second-hand sellers that influenced their current pricing. Now, do you think that's a possibility?
I think at least.
sorry, go ahead.
The aftermarket is what he means, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so with the aftermarket changed their pricing to after they saw like what the independent sellers were selling their toys for.
I mean, I think it had more to do with cost of materials than anything else. Cost of materials while still maintaining profit margins, because I know that things like petroleum products and plastic and stuff did wind up undergoing inflation. And I think at some point that scaled down to the toys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so availability for the materials they used to use weren't there anymore, and they had to resort to using some cheaper plastics in some cases. And they maybe had saved on it, but I guess it was like a necessary step. So whether they saved or didn't save by getting these cheaper or secondary materials, it does cheapen the quality of the figure, though. So like in that sense, like you're getting a less of a quality figure than you would have for the same price.
Yeah, they did directly come out and say that the great yellowing pandemic of figures released around that period was directly due to like a combination of material changes, plus the fact that global conditions meant that they couldn't do like on-site inspection of stuff. So like all those figures from like 2020 onwards that have this like rash of them turning out yellow is a result of that.
Megatron, Soundwave, Cyclonus, Tigertron.
My Netflix Soundwave has finally yellowed. I was boasting on this stream like a few months ago that it hadn't, and over the last couple months, it just started. Like, why do I have scan lines on my image?
It happened when you put that light in that spot. Yeah,
LED lights. Yeah, frequency.
Yeah, but it probably wouldn't show up very well on camera anyway, even with the lights. But a lot of his grays have turned yellow, and it's weird because he wasn't like that for a long time, and then all of a sudden, last couple months. Bunch of bronze coloration.
Well, that's like right around when the warranty runs out.
Kind of weird one I have is the small Combiner Wars Groove, the one that's like the little chess minion one. And he's like yellow on one side where I guess he got caught in some sun. So that's an odd one I got to fix with the ones I mentioned earlier.
There we go.
Well, I got the idea for the stream when I was watching. There's a Facebook group called the Toy Hive, and I watch a guy selling in there. Even if I'm not buying anything, I just like to watch it to see what prices. What's going for what prices. Eric Baker's the guy has the auctions. And he pulled out something that was like toward the back of a shelf somewhere, and he looked at the price on it. And he goes, "Oh wow, man, that had to be COVID prices." I'm thinking like, yeah, all you guys jacked up prices. During COVID, because obviously you can get the money for it. So as opposed to the much cheaper prices that he was selling stuff at that current auction, that just happened last week.
Well, I guess would it factor in? I mean, especially someone with a retail place, if they have less people coming in, would they have increased their prices to compensate for that?
I don't honestly know how much like his personal sales are walk-ins or how much of he does over the internet. Right. It really surprised me when we had Red on from Big Redhead Toys and Comics. It really surprised me that he said he didn't do anything online. I mean, he does the comic thing once a week, but he doesn't sell any toys on there. And it's just kind of crazy because I've seen the money that Eric Baker makes, doing online stuff. It really surprised me that he didn't do it.
Well, I guess it's it's still easier and more personable to have that retail space, where people can come in and you actually see the items and stuff. Because to do the online side of a business, it's basically you'd have to hire extra people. Depending on the popularity, if it takes off, because it's a lot of work to take care of that. Then you're dealing with shipping and all sorts of other logistics, as opposed to just someone comes in the store, they like it or they don't, they buy it or they don't, and that's it.
I do agree, though. It is kind of a curious decision just because of how much like online shopping exploded during the pandemic.
Now, I don't know how much you guys have, because okay, you guys know I only collect G1, but the stuff that isn't G1, I don't know how big of a drop you've seen since the pandemic, but that drop hasn't happened in all the toy collector markets. Like for my stompers, prices skyrocketed during COVID. They haven't came back down. They are still ridiculously expensive.
Because I was going to ask you in terms of other toys outside of Transformers, but you're kind of answering that. And what else have you seen in terms of the prices are just holding on to that high point?
The Voltron toys. I noticed that they haven't really come back down. They're still. I mean, they were expensive before the pandemic. Especially for like the hard to find stuff. But yeah, I'm after the Castle of Lions boxed, and I had the chance to get one right before the pandemic. Didn't do it. Should have done it, because now it's like $200-300 more than what it was before the pandemic.
Damn.
So that drop hasn't happened across all the toy collecting yet.
Okay.
Which is wild, considering we're 2-3 years away from it now.
Right.
I think also there's to some degree the pandemic created some enthusiasts that wouldn't otherwise be Transformers enthusiasts. Like that, just the isolation had created that interest. Like for me, for example, one thing I really got into or spent a lot of money on was keyboards. I spent a lot of money on designer keyboards at my workstation. So I just needed a hobby at the time. I just needed something a little bit extra to spend my money on. And
you needed something to help keep you sane.
Let me ask you a personal question. Let me ask you a personal question. Do you like mechanical sound or you like silent?
I like tactile, and for sound, I like it quiet for the office, and the one at home, it's loud, so I could talk all the way home.
I like to hear my keys hit.
Yeah.
It's why I bought the keyboard. And I don't like my laptop. It's quiet. It's
yeah, nice and talky sounds. So yeah,
this flame wire is awesome.
Oh, cool.
I love her. She's got ankles, knees. She pivots at the hips. Head rotates. She can actually put both hands on the sword and it not block anything.
Cool. Awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, she is super articulate. I'm very happy.
Yeah. One little thing I like about her is you can clip the sword onto the hip when you're not using it, like
Yep.
saber style.
Nice.
So this guy here is like incredibly silly, but that's why I like him, because he shoots missiles out of his chest, spring loaded.
Catch it above her butt as well.
Put his shark head up on there.
Oh,
Friggin' fires that.
cool.
Ooh, yeah, there it is. Love that it can do that.
I really dig in the clear plastic accessories.
When you can take the fan off the back of her head and she can hold it.
Yeah,
so evidently she did that in the show too.
I took a photo during my review as well, but somebody on Twitter pointed out there's like a specific kind of groove in her hands that lets her hold the fan like realistically, the way like a person covering their face with a fan would. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, if I can get the thing back off her.
So Charlie C has a question for Toy Whip. Toy Whip, are you getting the new Missing Link G1 Optimus Prime with improved articulation coming out in March?
Charlie. Okay, I got your number, Charlie. I see what you're doing.
I just want to draw attention to the awesome head sculpt on this guy because it is 90s-tastic. You can see he's got like the shark teeth, just the little fin up top, just a hellish expression.
Looks like he really missed leg day.
Yeah.
I think Perspective In made the joke that he looks more like a Predacon than a lot of Predacons.
Yeah, it's true. He's kind of a mean-looking guy. one thing I like about these '90s guys is this is post articulation. So like, he's got ankles, he's got knees, he's got all the joints you'd expect out of a modern guy. So I think that makes him hold up a lot. Plus, he can shoot missiles, which modern guys don't do anymore. So that makes him like the good kind of relic.
And he's a Beast Wars character?
Yeah. Beast Wars figure. Wasn't on the show because a lot of Beast Wars figures were not on the show because they had limited budget. It's probably the toy line with the most toy-only people. Like G1, you had like the Jump Starters and the Deluxe Insecticons and not a lot more people. Beast Wars, I'd say like 2/3 of the line wasn't on the show.
Well, actually, are you able to hold him up to the camera just a little bit closer? Because his head sculpt reminds me of one of the characters from the Transformer Prime line. And he was like one of the main guys, who I believe was a Decepticon, but I don't recall his name.
What, Dreadwing, you mean, maybe?
Possibly Dreadwing, but there was another one.
Yeah, because one of the things about Cybershark is he's got a toothy mouth. I don't know how well that shows up here.
It shows.
Is he the same mold? I forget what. Okay, toward the end of Beast Wars, he had the one guy showed up that was hunting the big Frankenstein-like Decepticon.
Oh yeah, Depth Charge. No, that was a different guy.
Oh, he is a different. Was he a shark? I don't remember.
He was a manta ray.
Manta ray. Okay.
I have a little collector's club version of him because they did a Cybertron mode version of him a few years later.
Yeah, wasn't that based off a movie toy?
Yeah.
Yeah, these trees were designed with really crazy articulation for microbots. They were more designed with the articulation of like pre-Unicron trilogy, so like Robots in the Skies and Beast Wars articulation. Of the Transformer, one of these guys, and then the more simpler counterparts to show the difference.
Yeah, but yeah, as the Junker version I had, like his ankles were too loose, so he couldn't stand, and he has these articulated shark fins back here that were missing. So I'm just really glad to see those on one of them. Yeah, I didn't have these, and then these were super loose. And yeah, you can change them back into a hammerhead shark. There's little they could do to improve on this guy, which is probably why they just reissued him. Because he pretty much has all the modern conveniences.
Did they do any improvements to any of the other re-releases for Beast Wars?
Well, some of the TV show characters did have color schemes that were a bit more like the animation, not going as full on as like the retro guys like Hot Rod and Company did, but like, Megatron didn't have a silver helmet anymore. He had a black helmet like on the show, stuff like that.
Charlie, what are you trying to get after here?
Apparently he wants you to do it.
I guess. I don't know.
Oh, about the giggly, James was actually telling me before the show. He called me earlier today.
About the Giggly?
Yeah, about the Giggly, actually. Yeah, we had a chat about the Giggly. Also, some news about Japan. But yeah, the Giggly. He's saying the Bruticus. They're re-releasing, or they're doing a Bruticus, and Swindle is going to be the first member.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? We see. Well, we haven't confirmed that it's Bruticus, but it probably is because Swindle is there being listed. So why would they not? The only possibility, I guess, would be if it turned out it was animated Swindle, because they are doing animated character updates, and Swindle was on that show as well, just on his lonesome. So it could be that, but I would like it to be the Combaticons, because I like the Combaticons. They're my favorite combiner team.
Apparently,
here's a hammerhead shark, but continue.
Oh, you have to do the David Attenborough. The hammerhead shark in its natural habitat. Eating Transformers. Also, I was thinking he was mentioning the aerial bots are when they release Silverbolt, it's going to be like some aspect of it is going to be parts for the combined mode. What I'm referring to is like how Menasor, the trailer was like the joint components. So somehow they're going to
Yeah.
do that with Superion.
Yeah, give him like a skeleton to add limbs to. Is this like rumors, or is this more like speculation?
Rumors and speculation. Yeah. Who knows?
A
We
little
we
bit of
can't
both.
say, but like what the guy who did the leak there, like he's definitely reputable.
Yeah, yeah. If only based on like history at this point, because he's called a lot of accurate stuff.
Yeah.
That's why everybody's like, these could all be fake, but they're probably true.
Well, he has some information that even afterwards never gets released. Like it's very specific info. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't he the guy that specifically was like, Hound and Hatched have been canceled?
Yes, it is the same guy. He's the guy who mentioned the 86 Optimus Prime, and
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
Hound and Hatchet now both also coming out, because Hatchet's got a listing in Studio Series just as a regular figure, and we know Hound's coming out in that Generation Selects box set. So, this whole between them and Cosmos and stuff, this sure is a time for them going, hey, our exclusive partners didn't release these things in good quantities, so we're just going to do it ourselves. I guess the window for exclusivity has finally like gone away. Yeah, this guy, man, this is if I see him at a convention and have sold enough money kind of thing. I also want to know if they're going to make more than just the Optimus. Yeah, because it is just G1, but with more articulation.
See if there's any
I-
more images.
Yeah.
I felt like this is just going to be like a one-off. They're doing this Optimus Prime, but who knows? They kind of did that with the Masterpiece. and
Yeah,
that
I
did
was just
well.
about to say.
That's interesting. They got him coming with a gray roller, like the
Yeah.
Diaclone.
Yeah. Yeah, because the whole point is it's like an imaginary replica of the original, except he has joints and articulation now. You can see right there.
Okay, no, Charlie, I probably won't be getting it because my shelf space is limited, and what shelf space I have is dedicated to original G1. But that is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the classic pose.
I need to there's a couple of reviews out already because some people in Japan have them. I haven't watched them yet, but I want to so that I can get like an up close and personal look with what he's like. Like it's understood that his fists are like integrated. They don't have to pop them on anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Are those stickers, or is that actually like 3D detail on his forearm?
It is a combination of both. Like he has tampograph stickers and molded details.
Very nice.
Wow.
You can see they even
wow.
gave him an ab crunch.
Yep.
Ab crunch, ankle tilts. It's all the stuff you imagined the original could do, basically.
Pretty cool. They kept the screws on the legs.
Yeah.
And they kept his yellow optics.
Yep.
That always bugged the crap out of me. I painted mine blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a people aren't sure if people have mixed about this. They're doing a separate release of this at the same time. That's a cartoon colors version, sort of. It doesn't come with the trailer. It's just the core robot, but like his eyes are blue. The windows on his chest are less yellow and more blue. Some of his stickers are like no longer present. They're colored animation style. People have some mixed thoughts about that one because they're like, on one hand, yeah, he's got the blue eyes and everything, but on the other hand, why would you make a detailed replica of the original toy but color him up like the cartoon? So, people have a few different opinions on that. Me, I'm just like, I would like one to be available to me. That's my only opinion.
Well, as Charlie C says, they have just the Optimus in cartoon colors. And RJ Eagle says, "Greeting, boys. RJ in the house. I just see you guys. They're transforming some bots. Are you guys trying to see who can transform a bot the fastest? We should have a Transformers Olympics."
See, for that to be fair, we'd all have to have the same one.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I could like cheat and get one of my spring-loaded Beast Wars basics where it is literally one step. You just pull Rat Trap's tail and just like, you're done.
RJ Eagle
Unlike-
says, "Loving the new articulated G1 Prime. I'm assuming the height is the same as the original."
I have seen some photos from those people that have it in hand. Yeah, it's like a 1:1 scale replica. Yeah, but
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I would love to see more of them because like you're holding up a Soundwave there, and I'm like, Soundwave with knees that actually bend the right way and with all those joints would be great. Oh yeah, there's Windblade vehicle mode. I like what they did with the sword. How it's like the jet stream now.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, I'm messing with 21 different minicon modes.
It's like 21 Pilots except it's all robots.
Nice.
Bunch of heathens.
Some people would have missed that reference.
I don't know why. It's the only song. It's the only song I think most people have ever heard out of 21
Same here.
Pilots. Only because it was tied to a movie.
Yep.
Legacy Windblade is looking sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So they're re-releasing Optimus Prime, I think, with the trailer at Walmart, also for the 40th anniversary line.
So your cup is going to run over because it's like you have we've not seen it, but like we know, like you said, there's the rumor that the actual G1 toys getting the re-release as a Walmart thing. That's one. There's this missing link guy in his 2 variants. That's 2 and 3. And then you have the upcoming Studio Series Commander. That's 4. And we don't know what this is about, but part of the previous batch of leaks, there's going to be a deluxe G1 Prime of some kind in Legacy. We don't know what that looks like or what it is. So there's going to be 5 G1 Optimus Primes for the 40th anniversary. So you're certainly going to have no shortage of options.
So
Optimus 6 if you're counting HasLab.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm just thinking G1 Optimus.
An Optimus Prime for everyone, and ways for them to make the money off the same character 6 times. It's a bit much.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine at Walmart how much that's going to be, because when they re-released the cab, wasn't that alone like $60?
Yeah. I mean, they said. I remember at the time, somebody asked John Warden about it. He said, A, that those reissues cost so much money because they had to restore the molds to make them, and there's like a big upfront cost with that. And B, he didn't come with the trailer because he said that would have jacked the price up unrealistically, like even worse. You know, that's what he said. Who knows if there's how true that is, but that was the statement at the time.
Okay, that kind of makes sense because those molds wouldn't last from way back when. They're just made from aluminum and they wear down after use. Yeah. The distribution was a Walmart exclusive, so it's not like they were fully distributed. They weren't full rollouts. They were just like short runs. So, okay, makes sense. However, they are reusing that mold for the next release, which is the one with the trailer. And I'm sure they're going to use it again and again. So, okay, up at the initial cost for that first short run release, yeah, it was really expensive and they jacked up the price to cover it. But over time, they're going to make well over their money back on that mold.
Yeah. So, like, I'm hoping this means that the new one will not be quite as ridiculously priced. Or at the very least, if it is, it's because they put money into the trailer this time instead of just the cab. Because they did say, like, it needed restoring as well, so...
RJ, if you missed the alt mode, here she is before she goes back on the shelf.
Nice.
Space Land Rover.
That's a thing. I forgot about that until now. It's not third party, it's official.
Space Rover.
That's the Japanese Space Rover or whatever. Yeah, that looks really nice. I love that one.
I believe it's related to how Takara helped them design the last thing that landed on the moon there. Or was it Mars? That unfolding rover that Japan launched. They were like, we need to figure out how to get it compact and have it unfold. So they literally brought in Takara to help them like design the thing.
Get out! That's
that's
so
a thing.
cool.
That's a thing.
Wow.
Wait, let me Google it just to make sure. I know I'm not, but let me cite a source.
Mm-hmm.
While he's looking up that, you have a mini-con that looks like the Blackbird who turns into a Wolverine claw.
Yeah.
I'll have to change him into the claws here and show him again. But it'd be literally he turns into a tree-pronged claw. I'm trying to remember.
Charlie
says
this
works.
Also, Masterpiece MP44 Optimus in toy colors.
Yeah. Okay, so I got it. So this is from 2022, but yeah, Japan's space agency JAXA hired Takara Tomy to design a rolling lunar robot called Sora Q. It's now en route to the moon. This was December 2022.
Wow, that is so cool. Now I really
That's
want that Optimus
wild.
Prime.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess they got a little action figure out of the deal. So
That's so cool.
There we go. And
I wonder. I'm sure it's known, but that articulated Optimus Prime, is it going to be released as Convoy or Optimus Prime? Because it is only for the Japanese market.
well, I believe it's just Convoy because it is the Japanese packaging. It is being sold on Hasbro Pulse, like the way they sell import figures there sometimes. So obviously it has like store listings, I believe, that do call it Optimus Prime, at least for the West. But it's a Japanese box, so presumably it's Convoy.
cool. RJ Eagle says bot mode is looking even sweeter for Windblade. Gotta pick her up soon.
She's wicked, RJ. She has ankles. She pivots at the waist. Her arms will actually reach to where both hands can get on the hilt of the sword. I think it's a sweet figure. I was really happy with it.
Yeah, so, okay, maybe I should find this on my computer. Sora Q is the name of the lunar rover. The first mission failed. The second mission is successful. It's on the moon as of January 2024. And it's the size of a baseball. That's why they got Takara to help them, because it's miniaturized.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't have imagined it that small.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, like I saw a photo at one point that I thought was a scale model, but no, apparently this is just what it actually is. Oh, there's the image for the New Yorker article. Let me just pop this out so I can share my screen. Load, damn you, load! You're making me choke up live. Yeah. Now I gotta go over here. Gotta talk through the process. And I gotta do this. And I gotta hit present. And then I gotta go share screen. Yeah.
True tech support at its finest.
Oh, you should have heard us cussing this damn thing today.
Oh, damn.
You know, just you get right down to the basics, and it's like, have you turned it off and on?
Well, their online support said, I'm going to fuck up the terminology here. We had to basically wipe the old drivers off my computer and download them again, and then plug it in and see what happens. I said the same fucking thing that's been doing for the last 3 weeks.
Oh wait, well I could just.
Well,
it
it looks like our drivers haven't been updated in over a year.
That
your drivers haven't been updated in over a year.
It's like my editing program that I use to make the YouTube videos. It'll freeze up every once in a while. No explanation whatsoever on why it does it. But I love in the end, it says, you're reporting the problem to Microsoft. Why don't you report the problem to me so I can fix it? You know?
So this is, you weren't on here when we were discussing before we went live. This $2,400 desk I've got with the mounted 3 screens and everything that runs off this computer, they haven't updated the drivers to support the new Microsoft. So now I've got a laptop that will not communicate with my desk. And so all of this is dead. The only thing that works on it is the up and down.
I gave up on it because my browser's being complicated on this new computer, but I sent you guys the link there to an article with some photos of Sora Q, the baseball-sized transforming lunar lander designed by Takara.
Wow.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's amazing.
Yeah. There it is in its 2 modes.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's such a simple design, and they managed to use that as a planetary rover.
Wow.
Yeah. So, they were like, well, I guess we need the people that design transforming things for a living to help us put a probe on the moon. So
I don't understand why it's so small, though.
I mean, my reflex is because it's cool, but I might be wrong about that.
They could, I guess, maybe they would deploy multiples so they could like go all over the place. This
Okay, that
reminds
would
me
make
of
more sense.
Hey, have y'all ever seen the movie Phantasm?
Yes. Oh my God.
No.
The moon is haunted now by those flying things.
What we're not seeing is the spikes and the drills and the fact that these things can fly.
I guess I'm gonna have to watch Phantasm.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny you say that because looking at
Oh,
this,
it's horrible. It's a horrible old 80s horror movie about these spheroids that kill people.
but I mean, such
I
ideas have.
I also recommend it because of all of that.
But such ideas have just jumped around the sci-fi world for years. Cause I'm just thinking like multiples of those coming after people, and then the Star Trek generation, Next Generation episode where they essentially Data was fighting to stop. Somewhere in the episode, because I haven't seen it in years, they created like these little what is it, like machines, and the machines started replicating themselves. And Starfleet wanted to like destroy the machines, and Data fought for them, saying, "Well, the machines essentially are a life form because they're thinking they can, replicate themselves and everything, and they're not much different than what Takar designed here."
I remember that, the exocomps. That's what they were called.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it is very much along these lines. Yeah. And it's funny because they sent one to the moon and the mission didn't work out, and the second one has been successful. So obviously the first one is the haunted one, and the second one is like the good one.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's a coincidence because the first one falls apart, but the second one works. So that's exactly like Knight Rider. Car was the first one. They did, put him in storage. Kit is actually the second car. Data is the second robot because Laura was the first one. They put him in storage. And another TV series, Person of Interest, Mr. Reese is the second assassin who helps people because the first one failed and just, again, just wanted to do it on his own.
That's awesome. Also, Mega Man was the second one after Proto Man was the failed first one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
feel the start of
trope on our hands.
Yeah, I feel the start of a franchise here.
Technically, Data was the third because before that was before.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Yeah. Forgot about him.
One does not remember the later movies as well. That's not a knock on any. That's not a review of them. That's just a statement of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot like the original generation movies, they were either hit or miss, and it seemed like every other movie was the good one, kind of like it is in the with the originals. It's some kind of Star Trek curse, man.
So as getting almost half an hour away from ending the stream, I'm gonna have our new segment where we kind of make fun of CBR just for the sake of making fun of them.
You and CBR, you have major beef at this point.
Oh, I have a major.
Oh, they
beef
suck.
With them.
I'm wondering what CBR is.
Oh, and speaking of major beef, there comes Professor.
You're a news agency about comics that report about a lot of stuff that's not comic related, and it's not even news; it's opinion pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is opinion pieces are more theater than editorial nowadays.
Mm-hmm. So without giving them a huge promotion and quickly going through the article, I'm going to this article they had listed called Most Expensive Transformers Toys, and I'm going to go through them, and I'm looking at you guys who are more the collectors to see if you can pick up on an issue that I found with this article and correct correct it if say we were to write this article, or Anthony, since Anthony is a talented writer who properly researches this stuff before he puts it public. So this article here, their first listing is Omega Supreme, and to jump down, they say a mint condition inbox Omega Supreme is worth $2,000. What say you guys?
Well, my immediate thing is, where are they pulling this from?
I would hope that they're pulling it from the same place the rest of us pull from when we are looking for what things are worth. And I go to eBay and go to sold auctions to see. So let's do it. Let's go to eBay here and.
Yeah, me too.
Let's science this shit.
I heard. Yeah. Is this the case? I thought I heard that eBay removed the feature where you could look at the previously sold auctions.
No,
they just hit it. They just hit it.
They just made it difficult. Yeah, they moved it around and made it hard to find. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. I was surprised when they wouldn't remove that. It seems like a major thing people use.
Does the article state whether he's sealed or not?
Let's see. Mint condition in box doesn't say sealed. Like they.
Well, there's be a big difference.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, of course, with me having a beef with this website, they're not going to get as in depth with such details.
Yeah. I just want to know what the source is. That's all. What you got there?
I'm finding a couple of inboxes on eBay, and they're floating around 500 Canadian. If I could focus somehow.
I've got a sold one here.
Not bad. But that's not mint though.
No. Yeah, inbox.
Complete inbox.
Yeah,
I got one here, complete in box. It's sold for $1,300. But that's the highest one here.
I think So in that case, based on what you guys are finding there, it seems like probably the $2,000 would probably be a sealed price.
Yeah. Something sealed, something gradable. I mean, they got to be talking top of the line.
Yeah.
And
check all the boxes.
$1,300 one is the one that you're looking at. Is that say best offer accepted? That actually they did get $1,300.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's the one I found too.
Oh, so didn't Omega sell for 13?
Omega Supreme isn't like a. Sorry.
But I've seen box ones.
There's 100% ones that are selling for as low as 200.
Yeah,
exactly.
Micah, how dare you say Omega Supreme isn't Leica? He's definitely Leica. He is the most Leica of all the Transformers.
Well, there's our Murder Prime moment. All right.
Go, bring him up.
A nice little Murder Prime moment as we zoom into Omega Supreme.
Hold on. Are we zooming into Omega? Can you guys see?
Who is not $2,000?
I get it.
No, he's $2,000. Look, can you guys see my Omega Supreme over here?
Not past
his microphone is blocking him.
There you go.
Holy crap! What is that?
Chunky boy.
Do you see what's in? Do you see what he's? Can you see what he's holding?
Yeah, he's got a
Megatron.
Yeah, that's a G1 Megatron. I just
is that G1?
Yeah, that's a G1 Megs.
Stop feeding the Energon already.
Oh, nice.
Page one sealed.
What did you ask, Micah? How come what?
How come the barrel's black on that Megatron?
Yeah, so it's a variant spin-wing.
Oh, cool! The black one.
Yeah, with the brown handle.
Is this the E-Hobby reissue?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's got that. It's like that shiny. You can't see it on the camera, but it's like that speckled, shiny paint. Yeah. And of course the super shine. Yeah, so this is an awesome Megatron here.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, there's the classic.
There's the original.
I can't wait to uncover my case, guys. I keep the cases with Transformers in them covered 5 months out of the year. I can't wait to uncover them so I can join in on the showing stuff.
It's good to just be able to pull them out and
Yeah.
Why do you keep them covered?
It just the light, dust. It just keeps that kind of stuff out of the cases. Just preserve them. So what else we got here?
Protecting them from living in the South.
Yeah, good way of putting it.
Or from when Toy Warp, just before he joined our collective, when our Just Moment tore apart his collection, complaining about how dusty it was and all this and that, and Toy Warp's like, I gotta join you guys. This is too much fun.
I forgot that's how we joined the stream. Yeah, that was good.
So about this one, 2,000 in my opinion for a complete inbox is a little overpriced for an Omega G1 Omega Supreme, in my opinion.
Unless he's minty.
So what you're saying is,
but it's never been opened. Like if it's a never opened,
if it's
Omega,
minty, factory sealed,
yeah.
So CBR got it wrong once again, is what you're saying, and we still have 14 more to go through.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but look, the real question is, where is Calvin on the show? That's what CGT Cool Guy TV Collection wants to know, and so do I. Where is Calvin?
Yeah, where is Calvin?
Where's Calvin? I was hoping he would.
We gotta ask Calvin about it. Only Calvin knows where Calvin is.
This is true.
Let's hope Calvin knows where Calvin is.
Yeah, it wasn't my turn to watch him, so.
RJ Eagle is laughing, saying Omega Supreme for 2,000. If that's the case, then the original micro-change version of him sealed in box must be quadruple the price.
Right?
He wasn't a micro-change guy. But
that's right. It wasn't micro-change. It was Toy Box was the name of the company, and I think it's the company that also did Skylinks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. And Shockwave.
And no way. Also have got to be in super mint condition. And CGT also says a graded Omega Supreme, I can say yes, and that box has to be mint. And also says, and it has to be an 8.5 grade for that price.
Yeah, that's true. Grade.
RJ Eagle asks, could that E-Hobby Megs shoot plastic bullets as well? Sick. And Charlie C says, the sun in Florida would destroy a collection.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Well, yeah, but I'm not keeping them outside typically.
Yeah, RJ. So this
I have this new thing. It's this new thing that's in. It's called a roof.
So RJ, this Megatron came with the bullets, and it also came with like a bunch of other stuff. Like he has his original sword, and then it's also got like the additional stuff, like the mace from the movie and all kinds of stuff.
I remember the packaging of that special edition Megatron from eHobby. It's the most beautiful, good-looking original G1 packaging. The price went crazy high. If you had that sealed, the price is skyrocketed the last time I checked on that figure.
Yeah, maybe I should have kept it sealed. Like when I got it, I actually wanted, I wanted a fresh new just G1. And because it wasn't exactly G1, that's why I opened it up, not thinking it was special. But but then when I played with it, I'm like, yo, this is awesome. This is better.
This guy's special. That guy is special. Oh yeah.
I think the entertainment you've gotten from it has been worth the opening it up, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
RJ Eagle says,
and not only me, Omega Supreme also enjoys playing with it.
Well, that's Omega Supreme answer. He's been influenced by the Robo Smasher. RJ Eagle says, yes, you're right. The Deceptikitty Toy Box is the company. And Charlie C says, Toy Warp, but you have Windows. Bahaha.
Evil laugh.
Yeah. Now, back over to the CBR website. They've listed Motormaster as number 14 and has also said has become a very sought-after collectible, going for over $2,000.
No.
Wow.
Bullshit. The one they're showing. It's the one they're showing doesn't even have an insert in it.
You note that it doesn't specify in box or anything. It just says $2,000 without any qualifiers.
Yeah.
Well, let's go over to number 13, where they say number 13 is Galvatron, though he's still valuable figure, going for roughly $2,000 in a mint in-box condition.
They're just saying $2,000.
Yeah, is the joke going to be that they're all $2,000?
Everything's $2,000. I was just about to say this.
This is what I gotta say. I gotta say this. Like, just with that image on the screen, like that box. I remember when I got that. I don't remember getting it, but I remember having that box. Like that Galvatron in that box was so awesome when I got it. I'm just having all this nostalgia just looking at that picture.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things. So I want to expand on that, like the box art was a big part of my experience with the toy. Like that's what gave it the animation, and well, in my mind, right? That's what made it animated for me. Yeah, definitely. So that's really cool because I never had a Galvatron in box.
Oh, did you not? Yeah.
No, I had got it like way after secondhand, but yeah.
Yeah, Galvatron was one of the good G1 toys, one of the most articulated figures too in bot mode. You know, it's a good toy.
Which, interestingly enough, people forget that technically he's a triple changer.
Yeah, he's his pistol
nobody
mode.
ever does that pistol.
Yeah, exactly.
A Marvel UK issue, one of the ones where he was introduced, did have him in his pistol mode, and that's the only time I've seen it happen. He was riding around for some reason inside Cyclonus's jet mode, but he was just a pistol sitting on the chair.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny that like in the cartoon, Megatron transformed into the gun a lot, and occasionally we saw Shockwave be used, right? When Bruticus used him, you know, that might be the only time. I don't know if there's more times when Shockwave was used as a gun, but he did transform into his alt mode, right, and shoot. Whereas, Galvatron, we never saw him get held as a gun in the cartoon. Too bad.
Yeah. Even Six Shot in his like 30-second appearance in like the last episode, he got Cyclonus used him as a gun in his hand, so he managed to fit it in there.
That would be a dope scene with Cyclonus. We should do that as fan art. Cyclonus double fisting.
Don't.
That didn't sound right. No.
Ultra Magnus has come himself.
Cyclonus double fisting Galvatron and Six Shot.
All right, on that note, we're looking at number 12 on the list, being Blaster Box. And again, they're going for $2,000. I'm again seeing a
what a surprise! $2,000.
And that one doesn't even come with a cassette companion. The retro one I got came with Steeljaw, so it has an advantage.
$2,000. Yep, everybody is holding up their blasters.
I got a couple blasters here for doing blaster. Hold up.
Yeah, so like they don't say mint in box. They just say a mint condition. I might have unboxed this guy, but he's minty fresh. Could I flip him for $2,000?
According to CBR, it's hot in the market right now.
Apparently. Yeah. And if we go to number 11, and number 11 is Trypticon. Trypticon goes for over, guess what? $2,000.
I wouldn't. Well, they put a lot of fucking research into this shit, didn't they? Holy crap.
Wow.
Now I can comment on a Trypticon at my one comic shop that I live near, like walking distance, and the owner lives up the street from me. He has a Trypticon in box. I don't think it's like, I think it had been played with and then put back in the box, but it's like $500.
Yeah.
Just to give some perspective.
Wait. Jetfire.
$2,000. As Mr. Magnus has a Jetfire.
I got one.
Yeah. You got the one in the bag with that and everything.
Sold to the gentleman with the $2,000 bill in the back.
That's right.
And
again, they don't say in box; they just say for roughly $2,000. Oh my god!
Stupid expensive.
Number 9, Fortress Maximus, and
which is approximately $2,000.
They even say it's self-aware. They say it goes for roughly the same price as most other Transformers figures at this point on the list, which is approximately $2,000.
Jesus, Katie.
It's funny,
like,
back
this person's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, it debuted in 1987 and retailed for over $100. So 30 years ago, it was $100. That seems to be a run-on sentence, but I won't call that out.
It's gonna cost more than that in box now, because I had a price guide in the 90s, the unofficial guide to Transformers, and it listed its Fortress Maximus in box as being $1,000, and this was in the 90s. I remember because that was the most expensive thing in the book, and the figure stuck in my head, like the
I'm thinking Fortress Maximus in the box sealed would probably go for $5,000 if I'm going to guess off the top of my head.
Yeah, see, that's why I refer to you guys, because you guys would have the better knowledge on this.
Sealed? You think a sealed Fortress Maximus would sell for as only $500? I think it'd be more.
No, I said 5,000.
Decepticon, that again?
Yeah.
So that was the most recent Fortress Maximus. Sold for about 1,500 Canadian.
Yeah, so 1,000 US.
Yeah, 1,100 US-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, so less than that.
So as we go over to Grimlock, who's listed at number 8, and let's see, in the United States, lots of little parts. Grimlock goes for a little over $2,000. Great mint condition, sealed in box.
Parts are in Grimlock.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I know lots of little parts. Like he has a gun and a sword.
That's it. And
What about all those cute little teeth?
There's a YouTube video. I can't think of the channel's name, but he, as a joke, he did like the studio series Grimlock. Is it worth its weight in gold? And it obviously wasn't. The guy that does he has a little cartoon of himself. It's like all of them I have, the one I have, but normally the title of a lot of his videos.
Oh yeah, all of them I've got. I'm subscribed to him too.
So,
I love the language here. A graded mint in box Starscream probably goes for a bit under $2,000.
Actually, can confirm that, because if I hadn't already made a big purchase when I went to TFCon, I was going to buy a graded Starscream that had it for 1,800.
Oh, so it's
I
about
can't
right up.
confirm that one.
Wow. Okay. Correct about this.
there we go.
I just like the fact that he said probably. It's like admitting you don't do research in the text.
See, and that's why I've got my fact checkers, because I know you guys are collectors of old and new, so you guys would have a better idea of prices. And as we see, Soundwave number 6 on their list, graded mint, sealed in box. Soundwave goes for over. I'll give you guys 3 guesses.
Is it 2,000?
2,000 or 2,000?
2,200?
Well, it's interesting. They're like graded mint and sealed in box. So I guess exactly like what Toy Warp did with the signed Bumblebee.
And speaking of a signed Bumblebee, number
there you go.
5, red Bumblebee.
Red one.
Which is a variant.
Only $2,000 for red.
Hold on.
Oh,
correction.
Hold on. We're clear down to number 5, and they finally got it up to 3,000. Which,
3,000.
can confirm.
And an original graded red version of Bumblebee. So
Which
3,000.
You said you can confirm?
Mm-hmm. I
So
mean, I
that's
gave
accurate?
12 for my Bumblebee.
Happy about that.
Wow.
12,000.
No, 1,200.
Oh, 1,200.
I gave 1,200 for my factory on card sealed Bumblebee.
Oh, that's less than that. Then.
Well, yeah, but
then
that's
that
the
was
red
the
version,
red
so
one.
it's obviously going to be going for a lot more. But yeah, I guarantee if we got, because I didn't know they were going for that much, and when I told Red that I had found that Bumblebee, on the card, he says, "Dude, that's dirt cheap. You need to jump on it." The last one we sold in store sold for $3,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Coming from RJ Eagle earlier says only Fort Max I can see going for 1,500 to 2,000. And number 4 on their list, my favorite combiner, which I got in '87 as the gift box for, I believe it was like $30 after tax.
God
Here,
damn.
yeah, and here they say sometimes goes close to $1,000 mint graded in condition, but then also says typically sells for nearly $3,000 in graded mint condition when found sealed in the original gift box set.
When found sealed, yeah. It's an event when somebody finds it sealed. Like, oh shit, this was just stuck in somebody's garage and forgot all about it.
I can see that.
Why is that Megatron have his gun tip painted orange?
Because
in that photo.
That's not an original.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, obviously somebody altered it.
So they're number 3 of Megatron, and they're saying goes for over 4,000. What do you guys say?
I think it could. Definitely not an orange barrel one. Obviously not. But like
if it was the original, like the one I've got right there, sealed.
Yeah. From the original years, yeah. I could see that.
Now this one, I could possibly say this may this may, just because Computron is a rare figure, listed as number 2, but they're saying that it probably goes for less than 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, had it
It's
gone
not a
greater.
desirable character. It's not like a. It's
No.
not like a.
Although,
an A-list character.
in part of this article, it says a graded mint sealed and boxed Computron recently sold for over 5,000.
I mean, maybe if it was graded, because I know that makes the value go up like crazy.
Yeah, but I can't see. Yeah, I can't see giving $5,000 for that. Being a G1 guy, I wouldn't.
That same shop that had that Trypticon, they had the Computatron and him and MAGNUS. They had both of them old box sets of them from G1.
What did they call it? What did they charge?
That was like a few years ago, so I cannot remember. The Trypticon, that was literally in there the last few weeks I've been in there. So that's the only reason I remember that one.
Pre-rub Megatron.
RJ Eagle has a good point. Was there a pre-rub Megatron? Maybe that would go for $4,000.
There had to be a pre-rub Megatron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
Pre-rub.
guess that would have been the 3 within when they were still under Diaclone.
Yeah. I guess to the audience that might not know about that, all the Transformers originally did not have those rub signs that you touch to have the faction symbol show up. They added that like a bit later on. So
and
pretty much
added
every.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say every 84 character has a version of them without the rub sign that's a bit more rare because it's an earlier release.
That's my point. Is he's an original character, right? He's an 84 line, so all the original characters in that first catalog have a pre-rub version.
I thought it was like post-movie, but that might not really be the case.
No. It was much
As a matter of fact, I remember
it was late 84 or else it was 85.
I think it was late 84, but I remember very vividly the commercial where it came out with showing, you know,
it was like a big deal.
It was so funny because it's heat activated with your finger, but it showed Transformers rubbing it with no heat coming from their fingers.
Metal on
How does
metal
that
creates
work?
heat. Metal on metal creates heat.
Metal on metal also rips stickers off.
That was the commercial where they did that because of the rash of like bootlegs, and so you had Optimus and Megatron, Peter Cullen and Frank Welker doing a PSA together where they're like, "Only we have the right to be called the Transformers. Only we have the right to wear this symbol or this symbol."
Yeah.
The two of them agreeing on joining forces to talk about bootlegs.
Copyright infringement. Yeah. We are enemies, except when it comes to copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Children, this is a serious issue.
Well, they made it sound serious. Megatron's like, only we have the right to be called the Transformers.
Wow, I need to find that.
Coming in at number
That'd be fun to
1.
watch. I want to see that again.
Coming in at number 1 in the voice of Deceptikitty, the character we spoke of earlier, who is most loved in all franchises, Optimus Prime.
So, Fran,
$12,000 for a graded mint sealed box edition.
More than that. That's actually a low number.
Really?
Yeah. For graded,
sealed G1.
Yeah, that's a low number.
See, that's why I refer to you guys, within the
That's like
collective.
So Deceptikitty just put the rub sign commercial in the chat. Do we want to play it? Can we play it? You guys want to look at it?
Oh,
well, after we get done discussing this Optimus Prime, and whether you guys are thinking that it's worth more than that. But I remember I think it was just last year, somebody sold a mint and box Prime that was a Pepsi Prime, and they sold it for $30,000.
Wow.
$30,000.
I don't understand why.
12,000 is less than half.
Do what, Bill?
I just think 12,000 is less than half.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's worth more than 12. The one they're showing, you'd be lucky to get 12 out of that one.
Yeah, no.
With all the wear and stuff on the one they're showing, but you get one that's minty. Yeah, that's a low number actually.
Wow.
It's funny how. Go ahead.
It's funny how he started
saying, "Oh yeah, if it's graded near the end," but at the beginning of this list, it was like,
they weren't really clear at the beginning. Another
several of them
inconsistency
don't
in their
specify
writing,
what
huh,
kind.
Spin?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This really has the energy of like somebody was told to write the article and they searched up like recent eBay sales, based it entirely on that, grabbed the first like Google image of each of these things in package, which is why you've got a ratty Optimus and like a Megatron with a painted orange gun barrel, and then just kind of called it a day. The more of these we read, I have a little bit of sympathy because I'm a content writer in my day job, and I'm like, sometimes you do kind of have to just grind these out really quickly. Ideally, I would be doing a bit more research than this, to say the least. But I'm like, I feel like I can sense the person behind this, and they're a very overworked person with little time and little care for the subject matter. That's what I get off of it.
All right, Anthony. Well, we're not hearing any of that because Spin has beef with these guys. So
yeah,
we're not hearing it. tough toot for the writer. Yeah.
And that ends our CBR segment with RJ Eagle Scene saying, "You mean Gun Robo from Byway, which was like our discount store when we were kids, is not a real Transformer?"
Go up one comment from him, Spiff. Okay, so RJ, I hope you're watching. So this is a post rub. There's the rub symbol right there. This is a pre-rub.
Nice.
Signed
and you got
by
the signature
Frank, too.
With a signature.
What do you think that'll go? What do you think that would hypothetically go for? Not that you're letting it go.
$2,000.
No, more than that. This one is not sealed. This one is not sealed.
Still,
it's $1,000 piece at least. Yeah.
Oh, at least the box has got. I mean, it's not in great shape, but it's not in bad shape.
Yeah.
And it is signed by the legend.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. I love it. One of these days I'm going to get it. I've already, that's the goal for my collection, is to get everything back in the box and then have, 3 of each character, one in the box, one in alt mode, and one in robot mode. That's the goal. But man, is it expensive when you're talking G1 stuff.
We're gonna get like copyright struck because I realized how much of this not copyright struck, like content struck, because I realized how much of this video depicts multiple people in these windows with realistic guns being waved around.
Well,
wasn't it in the news back in the day that somebody actually robbed a convenience store with a Megatron?
I heard
mean,
about
There was that kid.
There's a reason why this got banned.
In our area that was shot. There was a kid in our area that was shot.
Having a Megatron?
Oh my god.
That's why you can't sell that no more.
Oh yeah, let's check out this commercial.
It's muted right now. Remember to unmute it. Hit the unmute. For God's sakes, hit the unmute. Spin, hit the unmute button.
No, that's a copyright waiting to happen.
Oh, okay.
That was the pre.
No, Spin. They're not gonna copyright a commercial. Commercials are not gonna get a copyright strike.
Well, you never know. I like not to risk it.
No, but the point, we want to hear it. The point is to hear the funny dialogue with Megatron going, "Only we have the right to wear this symbol."
Well,
Hey, we've heard it enough times. Let's do the voice acting ourselves.
Oh, go. Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair
Let's, I'm gonna slow it down a bit, and we will do the voice acting.
Okay, good solution.
There we go. Gonna put it at half
0.5.
And
oh yeah, that kid's so serious.
There we go.
Okay, let's welcome those Autobots fatally.
Oh no, you don't, Megatron. Take that.
Pathetic
I'm glad you brought your
escape.
What
am I doing here?
I don't know which side I'm on. Somebody robbed my symbol.
No,
somebody robbed me.
Oh,
Don't.
He robbed me to run way! I turned into a Decepticon!
Hey, look over there! Oh no!
Oh, look out!
Our crops.
Grimlock.
Whoa!
Why weren't we on the show?
Jump starters! Jump!
Here,
let's
check out my mixtape.
Don't do dark energon, kids, so you'll talk like
Oh,
these
that
fools.
feels good.
Oh, yeah, don't forget the sound effects. Oh,
Yeah, Oscar worthy. Challenge of the
Get off my screen.
That's probably who they were trying to get. You know,
Oh,
no, don't
that
buy
would be
GoBots,
amazing.
kids. That's what they were trying to say in that commercial.
Wow.
If,
Yeah, don't buy
actually,
GoBots.
you're right.
Only
If they
buy
ran that
Transformers.
against Challenge of the GoBots, the cartoon, that's like the shadiest thing possible.
Yep. Yep.
Which sounds like something Hasbro would do.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're gonna specifically buy ad space on Challenge of the GoBots and run that commercial.
Hilarious.
Oh my god.
And
well, I don't know if that was fun for anybody watching, but that was certainly fun for me. Like, we played that commercial, and all of us just started making noise. Like, I think we all just turned 5 years old for, 30 seconds.
Well,
I wouldn't be
Duke
doing
Nukem
this if
said,
it wasn't fun for me, specifically.
He said, ha ha ha, who did that Starscream voice?
It was me.
That was Toy Warp? What?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
RGU says, OMG Magnus, that's crazy. I wonder if the year printing is different in the pre-rub compared to the post-rub figures. Someone can easily then take the rub stickers off and call it a pre-rub.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like how I solved the Rubik's Cube by replacing the stickers.
I always just pop the middle one out with
Very
butter.
bad, Micah. Very bad.
Well, RG Eagle says, I'm surprised the only thing the bootleg companies couldn't replicate or knock off was the rub stickers itself.
Yeah, I wonder about that. Was there something about it that they couldn't mess with, or was it just like that's too specific for them to knock off?
Well, I remember, like once you peeled it off, it would damage the rub sticker.
Yeah,
Like,
because
Toy
the
Hacks
rub
are
stickers
too
were
rough.
aluminum.
Okay. But Toy
Yeah, the
Hacks
rub
are
stickers
unlike-
actually have a piece of aluminum in them. And this one used to still actually work.
Charlie
Bill
C said
science
it
and
was...
this shit.
Huh?
All right, Bill
It was
Nye, show us what you got going on.
Bill Nye.
Yeah. So I like you can replicate them nowadays, certainly.
Yeah, but back then it would have been
Yeah,
harder.
no,
And
what Toy Hacks has some.
It would just increase the cost significantly too. Like a knockoff company, they're doing that for cheap,
Nice.
right? So to do that, and then they have to make these stickers that'd be expensive. That would increase their cost.
You guys, okay, there's stuff before Transformers that had like this color temperature change stuff. Do you guys remember those
Yeah.
mood rings that you put those rings on and it would change
Yeah.
color? And like there was these credit cards that you could get and you could like test your mood or whatever blood flow on them. Like that's the same technology. Like how come?
Probably.
It's not technology. It's not technology. It's aluminum. Which I'm serious.
Same idea, okay, Bill?
Anything that reacts to your heat has an aluminum core in it. When it gets warmer, you see the color change on it. That's all it is. It's aluminum. That's why the pre rubs or the post rub stickers, when you peeled them off, they cracked because they're actually on an aluminum plate with sticky side on the back.
It's not a liquid inside. I always thought it was like a gel or something. Huh.
Nope, it's just an aluminum plate.
All right, Bill, I dare you to make a giant aluminum rub sticker and put it on the front of your car.
I don't think the salt in Illinois is gonna let that last for very long.
But Charlie C says, Toy Warp has a new job as Starscream, and I mean, imagine driving around with a rub sticker on your vehicle, and someone who knows what it is, like they just come along and they just start
put their hand on
it. That might not. If you got a nice car, you don't want people putting their hands on. That might not be the best option. Yeah.
What if it was a girl in a bikini rubbing it with her butt?
There you go. There you go. Well, all you gotta do is give it up. And there's enough heat right there. Everything's good.
Don't.
Kiss.
All right, gentlemen, I'm back up in Petersburg tomorrow, so 4 a.m. comes around really early.
All right, Bill.
We're actually.
I'm out.
Wait, Bill, before we're actually going to sign off in about 5 minutes, but quickly shout out what's happening in June.
Oh, in June, I will be doing a panel on extreme collecting at the OMG Con, representing Children of Primus. So anybody that can make it, come on down for it. It's usually like $30 a day. I think $100 for the entire weekend. It's a real nice con. A lot of panels, good cosplay.
Keep going. I was just gonna say you got to make sure you record your panel so that we can put it on the channel.
I'll do it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
And in the background, Micah will play a funky piano.
You mean keyboard?
That was oddly specific, but okay. All right, Mr. Magnus, have a good evening.
Peace out, gentlemen.
Later on.
I just want to point out a rub sign related discovery I just made here. So, Beast Wars, they were still doing rub signs.
Oh yeah.
They called them Energon
there's
chips.
the rub.
Yeah, they called them Energon chips, but it was the same principle. The original Cyber Shark from the 90s had one. The new figure, the reissue, does not. The square space where it was going to go is still there. No Energon chip. It's not mentioned in the instructions anymore. It's not on the figure, so the reissue doesn't have a rub sign, but the original did. Also, this has 2021 copyright stamps too, so it is not literally a carbon copy of the original. It's a remake. It's interesting.
So that color changing clothes have aluminum.
Hypercolor. Remember that?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, actually,
hypercolor shirts.
I would throw this over to you, Toy Warp, because didn't some Hot Wheels cars back in the day could change color from either heat or if water were on them?
Yeah, it took water. It didn't do it off of heat alone. It had to be like hot or cold water. They were called easily called color changers. I don't know if that was like the cars were still die cast. They weren't aluminum. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. There were some Transformers that did that in Generation 2. They literally just called them the color changers. They had water squirting gimmicks and they could also change color.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, those weird ones that they changed for G2 over here, the names. Because it wasn't like in G2, was it over in Europe or in the US where the one that was an F1 racer was Deluge, who was a Decepticon, whereas in the other country, he was an Autobot. Can't remember.
Yeah. One of the color changers was actually called GoBots because at that point Tonka had just been bought out and they were eager to slap the GoBots name on anything to try and assert that they had the copyright now.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's just a character called GoBots.
I was just watching a video on some old Star Trek game today, and the company that made it, I guess, folded as soon as Hasbro bought them out. Like all the people left it, and they left with all the code for this game.
Wow.
Which game was this? What era? Like roughly
late 90s.
Oh, okay.
And when they said when Hasbro came in and buy it, and I just kind of rolled my eyes like till all are one. Yeah.
RJ Eagle was saying to Anthony, that's an interesting point. Didn't know there was even rub stickers for Beast Wars figures.
Yeah, well, much like G1, they didn't start right at the beginning. The second year is when they started doing rub signs again, and much like G1, a few year one guys were reissued with Energon chips on them. So yeah, they did it all again. I don't know if it was an authenticity thing anymore, or if it was just like everybody has this little gimmick. But yeah, it was a thing. They were still doing rub signs. They were always hidden on the figure somewhere now. They weren't like obvious. You had to find them.
Cool. So as we slowly wrap up, thinking of Toy Warp in terms of what you mentioned with the company leaving with the codes for the game, reminds me of the last season of Knight Rider, where they went after 3 people because essentially the chemical code for Kit's molecular bonded shell was split between 3 people. So no one person had the entire code. So at some point in the episode, they kidnapped all 3 of these people to recreate the his bonded
recreated
shell.
for Goliath.
Yes.
Yep. Yep, I remember that. Yep, which is so goes against like its own canon, considering that Kit was actually damaged. His molecular bonded structure was actually damaged before then.
Mm-hmm.
So how did Bonnie know how to fix it if these three people were if she only had a third of the code? How did she fix it by herself?
That's a nice 80s loophole. How do we know she even had a third of the code? Did she know any of the code?
Right.
Because the code was split between 3 separate people. Bonnie was not one of them.
Yeah, the things that you catch there's holes all over that. Over Knight Rider. God, there's holes all over it, dude. I mean, I can understand making a stretch for like the science of it. Just for the fact that you can have a TV show with a talking self-driving car.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, a lot of it ate a lot of its own canon a lot of times.
Oh yeah. Which I think Knight Rider Facebook page just recently posted that there was a clip where New Edition was on an episode and they're singing with Kit. So I don't know if this episode was never aired, but it was just interesting seeing that clip.
Oh no.
Well, as we wrap up for the evening, again, thank you for everyone in the comments and for all you guys. It was another great stream once again. And SETTOM Black Arts, what do you have coming up for this week?
Sleep. I know last week I actually got caught up with the art page posting, so maybe I'll try to catch up with some stuff I've been meaning to post to my more questionably named Instagram.
Which is in our description.
The B&B, we'll call it that.
Yeah, bed and breakfast. Let's go with that.
And Mr. Toy Warp Vintage Reviews, what do you have coming up for the week?
Video on Toy Warp. I'm aiming for Tuesday, but it might be Wednesday. Finally getting around to doing the video on this the Polar truck. This is one of the companion trucks that actually came with the Bigfoot toy that I already did the video on. So I'm finally getting around to that video. This is my one that I've got that's unused. So I didn't really want to fire it up for the video. I've got another one that's kind of a junker, but the transmission just went in it. So yeah, it was a pain in the butt to make that video, but yeah, I hope that's coming for Toy Warp this week.
Cool. And DECEPTIKITTY, what say you for the upcoming week?
Yeah, this week, hopefully I get to enjoy it. This past week was a little bit stressful. I didn't really get to do anything for myself. I spent a little bit of time with my cat going for walks, but that was really about it. I didn't really enjoy this week. It was productive, but like I'm doing a little bit of extra caretaking stuff that isn't really part of my itinerary, but I just ended up doing a little bit extra that this week. So this next upcoming week, I'm going to be focusing on doing some things I like to do, I think, and specifically I have to catch up on some of the Transformers and Cobra Commander comics that I haven't read yet. And I read the first issue, the ones that came out this last month. I haven't been able to catch up on yet.
Cobra Commander 2 came out this Wednesday, then Duke number 3 is coming out this Wednesday, and then I don't remember if the first 2 weeks of March is the Transformers or Void Rivals that come first and second, which order they come out in, but...
Sweet. Good week for me reading.
Yeah.
RJ Eagle says, I can't see Kit being the newest member of New Edition for some reason. I think I'll find that clip and forward it to you, and I'll also put it in our group discussion. And imagine Kit singing Mr. Telephone Man. That would be funny. And over to you, Fair Page. What do you have coming up for the week?
Well, I also do need to catch up on those comics too, so I'm in that same boat. I always keep up with the Transformers ones, but the side titles slide a little bit. Yeah, so over on childrenofprimus.com/news and reviews, I have up my look at the Spy Changer versions of Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus from Robots in Disguise 2001. So, if you can't afford the HasLab, maybe look into these vintage ones, which, you can get them for maybe 20 to 30 Canadian dollars on eBay, and I checked that, so... but I've seen them go
because
for less
Anthony
at
does
conventions.
his research.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them go for less than that at conventions. But anyway, I had a look at these guys, how they hold up in the present day. They don't combine like the new one, but they have a lot of other things going for them, like costing a lot less, among other things. On Friday, the photos I was just finishing were, of course, from Retro Blaster with Steeljaw. So we'll get to see how he compares to Soundwave and to the new Legacy one that just came out last year, all that good stuff. I'm really fond of this guy. He's big and chunky and fun. Beyond that, in the future I'll look at Retro Blaster. I got a few things over there I haven't written up. I just opened that lovely Cyber Shark, so I would love to talk about him. All things that'll be coming up, but right now these two, and on Friday Blaster. That's what's happening over on News and Reviews under Children of Primus. That is a lovely cat, of course.
Shinta, hello.
And RJ Eagle says, huge spoilers in the comic. # no spoilers.
Yeah.
I was wondering, Fear Courage, did you mean Perceptor instead of Blaster?
Tomorrow? I mean, on Friday it is Blaster. I have Perceptor over there, so he's like on the dock to get written and photographed in the coming weeks. So that will happen eventually, probably next. So.
Cool.
Cool. Charlie C says, "Have a great night, everyone. And a great night to you as well."
Minty box. Minty box.
As we are promoting toothpaste as we end our stream.
Yeah. We'll
Just happened to see that just now, and I remember since we said it's minty mint.
And on that note, thanks again to everyone, to all you guys, and to all are one.
Yeah,
all are one.
Until all have white teeth.